Good morning. Just walking to see Captain Paul, have a cup of coffee, and thought I'd talk about a few things. General success principles. The one specifically I want to talk about and share with you is actually one that was promoted a lot by Dan Kennedy, but it's not exclusive to him. Most people know this concept, and in a nutshell, it's all about immunity to criticism. So Dan Kennedy would say something like, your ability to succeed in life is directly correlated and linked to your ability to be immune to criticism. Good morning. And first time I heard that was probably in the late 90s. And really, in a nutshell, it manifests in many, many ways. You know, if you feel good about yourself and you screw up, and usually when you're screwing up, that means you're trying stuff, and that's good. You know, if you have a problem and you're trying to solve the problem, and you kind of fumble along and make a few mistakes, that's good. That's called tuition fee. But if you've got a problem or a situation and you're too afraid to tackle it, then that's not good because you're paralyzed with fear. And oftentimes, we can be our own worst enemy. In other words, we're fearful, and in our own mind, we are our own worst critic. Oh, I'm such a loser. Oh, I'm going to screw up. This is not a blah, 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 blah. You know, so mindset in that respect plays into it quite a bit. So you have to be careful when it comes to criticism, and self-criticism can probably be some of the most insidious and some of the worst criticisms. And oftentimes it's linked to shame. So if you can get beyond that, or if you can at least recognize it and push through it anyways, you'll get better and better and better at it. It's like a muscle. The muscle builds, you become more resilient. Then eventually the idea behind immunity, well, it's like having a vaccine, a real vaccine, by the way. And not genetic gene therapy, but a real vaccine. Like a real vaccine, the way it works is it takes dead cells from an actual virus, you know, like smallpox or polio and all that stuff, and you inject it in your body, and your body goes, whoa, 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 we're being attacked. Even though it doesn't know it's a dead viral load. But what it does is it builds up antibodies, what's called T cells. So when you start working on your own mindset, you pretty much do the same thing. You build up antibodies so that eventually your immunity serves you. It's almost like a superpower. No one knows this more than me. I was probably one of the shyest, most shame-filled, anxiety-ridden people I've ever met in my entire life. And all kinds of bad habits and problems, and eventually started working through them all, and I recognized that, yeah, shame plays a big role, and I have to develop this idea behind immunity to criticism. So I mentioned that we can be our own worst enemy, our own self-talk. On top of that, there's a lot of social pressure. So, you know, from others. You know, when you feel good about yourself, or at least if you decide to start feeling good about yourself and start building up this immunity, you'll silence the voices from within, and you'll also develop a shield from the voices without, the external voices, the ones that socially, like, you know, the ones you hear from family and friends, or whatever, people in your association, whatever it is you're up to. They tell you, 5 reasons why you can't do it, shouldn't do it. And oftentimes it's the envy. You got to ignore all that. You just got to push through them anyways. And the reason I came up with this idea, besides the fact that it's an idea I've written about before and I've talked about many, many times, is that last night I went up to open mic again Wednesday night at Pasatiempo in Tamarindo. And I was telling somebody, not 5 years ago, 6 years ago, You know, we used to go to Pasatiempo every Wednesday when they had open mic. And I remember back then thinking, God, I would never do that in a million years. And then 2018, I brought a guitar down and I went up. And I still go up. It's sort of like a hobby, something that it's a new skill set I'm trying to get into, and that's singing and playing. There's nothing, in my opinion, scarier than just me, myself, and I, my guitar, and a microphone, and an audience full of people. That's got to be the scariest thing I've ever done. But I got to the point now where I don't care. I just keep going. And I do it for two reasons. One, I know I'm building up that muscle. And two, I'm having a lot of fun. And who knows where it's going to go eventually, insofar as me having this is a fun hobby. I get to play musician, even though I'm not a musician. And finding my groove. So, yeah. Immunity to criticism from within and from without. All right, guys. That's all I got to say about that. Thanks.